All right, welcome everyone. We are back with our Honkai Star Rail Sunday. We are going to continue with the main story quest from this patch. Very excited and slash very concerned on where Kazlana is going to take us. Quick recap is essentially in the so it was confirmed that Amphorius is a simulation created by the Scepter to try and make something real, to prove it can create like a god can. And then after many repeats of the simulation, in the one where Phynon and Cyrene were able to complete the journey to where they were essentially could have proved themselves real through the path of destruction and created themselves into actual physical beings outside of the simulation, therefore proving the Scepter's abilities. They were able to use their powers of being kind of in between being real and also the program itself to reset the program, essentially trick it into thinking it had not succeeded. So because they were trying to find a way to succeed in a manner that would not bring about a new entity of destruction. And currently we are watching Phynon, or as he's called currently, Kazlana, go back in time trying to find a way to beat the simulation without it being through the path of destruction. So that's the brief recap of the main story and where we will be picking up. The Fate collab is, the limited time awards at least, are coming to an end soon, so make sure you do that. I have been slacking and I have not been doing that, so I will have to get on that myself. They're still allowing you to do the old characters that got buffed, their trials, and you can get some Stellar Jade that way. Currently, the relics are being doubled if you do them, so make sure that you get some relics. Origami Bird Clash will also be ending soon, or at least the new limited time reward chapter update. Currently, Firefly is available along with Jinglu and Blade, so make sure you get them if that is to your fancy. And Pure Fiction updated recently, so make sure you get on that as well. I don't really have much to say in terms of like my current dungeon rating. I am still stuck on level 5 in Golden Year. I have not been able to defeat it yet. So we have not gotten much farther in Golden Gear. And then we are slowly progressing through the Divergent Universe levels. When it comes to characters themselves, because of the relic update, I've been working on Phydon's relics. But prior to that, because I have enough of the destinies, I have been working on all of my 4-star traces, getting them fully maxed out. I think I am currently, so I'm currently on Serval. Everyone up till Serval is completely maxed out when it comes to traces, and so then I just need to get these remaining. I think Chingshui is fully maxed out too, though. So I just have 5 more characters, and I will have every single one of my characters completely maxed out, and then I guess I'll just collect these for the future. Not something I can say about my Genshin account, that's for sure. I think that's about it. It is the beginning of the month, so everybody make sure that you get your Ember exchanges for the free pulls. Or free, quote unquote. You have to have this, but pretty much free. And that's about it. We always start off the stream with a pull. I think I was on the weapon banner and we were pulling for Blade's weapon. We are currently at 18 pity, so not super high. I intend to do like 2 more 10 pulls, and if we don't get anything, it's just build pity for the next characters. Oh, quite a few 4-star cards. And then we might be able to get that last, that third 10 pull in this stream. Yeah. I still want to know what's up with these warp trotters. I feel like, because they showed up as I progressed through the levels. And then I think there's one above us, too. So I wish I knew if they were just there for aesthetics, or if there's some kind, yeah, see? Or if there's some, like, side quest that I'm missing. Anyway, so let's get back to that main quest. So at this time, he is working with Kazlana, or Kazlana is working, is working with an Exagrius in this.
Light up the dawn.
Considering the fact that he can insta-kill these guys, there's no reason not to kill all of them.
Light up the dawn.
You've been to the Luminary Throne before, haven't you?
If you're talking about in past cycles.
You're already much luckier than the other students.
You get an achievement for sitting on that, by the way.
Hold up. Keep your wits about you. Someone's watching us.
Pretty boy, your eyesight's better than I thought. As for that false god who's been turning the world upside down, it's you, isn't it, white hair?
You sure do love stealing the spotlight. In the name of the Seven Sages, I demand that you immediately step away from the Luminary Throne. This is the sacred ground of reason, and no one may desecrate it. Take my words back to Aglaya. I won't say the same thing twice, cat girl.
Oh my! You won't even call me the demigod of trickery. That is just heartbreaking. I have some words for you, too. First, as one of the most heretical blasphemers in the world, you have no right to lecture me. This is none of your business, Grove Boy. Step aside. I don't want anyone getting hurt.
Here we go. Again.
Core Flame thieves. You really think you can scare off a sage of the Grove with nothing but empty threats?
This gloomy little brat's got a sharp tongue. Ooh, not bad, not bad. I kinda like you. As a return favor, please unsearch his core flame right here. Aw, don't cry now.
That was close. I'm out of here.
Why are we getting tutorials?
They're exactly like all the past ones I've known. Cunning. And yet so naive.
Sounds like you have a plan.
Of course. When I first set out on the Flame Chase journey, Lady Treby never managed to teach me Orynyx's miracle. But along the way, I learned a thing or two.
Man, Finon sounds so tired.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
The Venerationists' foolish inventions finally come in handy.
How is this possible?
You've arrived, Zagreus. Always so punctual.
What? Do you know who I am?
I'm running out of patience. So I'm not going to waste words. Listen up, spirit thief. Hand over the core flame. And let's pretend we never clashed. This way, you and this world can still be saved.
Save. You sing better than any bard. If you ask me, you're the greatest disaster Emporius has ever known. No matter how strong you are, you're still just a mortal body. Carrying 12 core flames? Don't make me laugh. You'll just get consumed by the divine flames and drag this world down with you.
134.
What?
This is the 134th cycle I've lived through. And the number of core flames I carry is...
1,596.
Yes.
1,000 core flames and just a single Chrysos hair. How is that even possible?
I've come this far. And that's proof enough.
But someday you will burn to the ground.
Of course. The divine flames will eventually consume my eyes and blind me. But before that, they could still forge and sharpen Dawnmaker. Now when I cut open your stomach, you won't feel a thing.
You...
This is the final warning.
Fine. Assume this world holds 100 million possibilities. And no matter how one looks at it, 99,999,999 of them all point to outcomes of certain destruction.
And we notice that destruction has a capital D, like the path.
Even so, I'll use my divine power, despised by the people of this world, to achieve that 1 in 100 million possibility.
Bartolos!
Brett, if you got the guts, you'll have to first step over my dead body. This little brat is not a threat we can deal with just by ourselves.
Future will come!
I'll give it back.
I can't let them down. Fury of innumerable core flames consume me. Or sun tear the sky! How absurd.
In my memories, Zagreus always meets the same end. Over and over again. Their departure no longer stirs anything in my heart.
This reason core flame before us is a fake. Obvious as day.
I know. It always plays out like this. The spirit thief covers for her, and the trickery demigod escapes with 2 core flames. And then, driven by defiance or hatred, she decides to stand before me once more, exactly like the countless past hers I've known. Cunning, yet so naive.
Since you've witnessed the same scene play out countless times, tell me, will you carve the trickery core flame from my chest now?
That depends on your attitude. At least so far, in the cycles where you've asked this question, the endings haven't been so cruel.
Well, thank you for that. But I also believe that this time, you won't catch up to me. No one can catch up to me. I'm no longer running to escape anymore.
Whether you believe me or not, I'll still tell you this. You've made the wrong decision.
All right, then. We'll see.
Silence.
This is new.
One-eyed boy. What are you trying to pull now?
Go, Cythera. Give us some time in private. This isn't for her, but for you. You've walked too far down this path. It's time to discuss a possibility. Maybe the road you're walking is not one of salvation, but but one that will simply drag the world into the flames. For all time's sake, turn back. I don't care how many times you've tried. Because there's one thing I'm sure of. Your Messiah complex has turned you into something no different from the icy gods you spoke of. The children of humanity you swore to save. They are no more than ants to you now, aren't they?
Of course. I've been wondering, what kind of demon could burn my homeland to the ground in an instant without batting an eye? Now I have the answer. It turns out that fiery demon has been fantasizing of becoming this world's deliverer.
I don't want to argue anymore. No matter what I say, the outcome won't change. Make your biggest effort to resist. Or accept fate. And hand over the core flame to me.
Well, he doesn't even have, like, the little, you know, the little, like, bubble that gives, like, life to anime characters' eyes? It's, like, completely gone. My man is fully tired after 100 and, what did he say, 34 cycles? Like, he is literally just playing a math game at this point of, like, okay, what can I change to get a better outcome? If I change this, does this make a better outcome? Like, he has become the person running the simulation at this point, because that's what the simulation has always been, right?
Even if it's futile, we all have the right to choose.
Yes. Even if it is futile, and the world is just a divine joke.
When I walk into the destruction ridden by the gods with my own 2 legs, you will witness. Even the smallest footnote still leaves a mark in this story.
And so, at the end of the 134th cycle, the Traveler and the Scholar fulfilled their fates once again.
Yeah, this is the bubble I'm talking about right here. It's completely missing from his eyes at this point.
Or perhaps it wasn't just they who fulfilled their fates. I can't quite remember all this. In the endless darkness, for no reason, a voice always lingered by my ear. Losses are a constant on the flame chase journey, among which even life itself holds little value. Reduced to ashes. Such a familiar end. It happens in every journey. Always the same.
Eternal Reoccurrence 134. Subject Kaslana's 103rd attempt to breach the Scepter's core layer has failed. Decision weight for avoid sacrifice of past companions approaching 0.00018. Oversynchronicity risk detected. Life cycles of the 12 crisis eras terminated in sequence. Subject Kaslana regressed the extrapolation process. Eternal Reoccurrence 5297. Subject Kaslana's 5266th attempt to breach the Scepter's core layer has failed. Life cycles of the 12 crisis eras terminated in sequence with a trend of acceleration noted. Subject Kaslana regressed the extrapolation process. Note, subject strategy now nearly identical to Eternal Reoccurrence number 42. Mind function degradation detected with possible irreversible damage. Administration directive received. No more prompts about the risk of mind function damage. Uh-oh. I mean, if there's no way for him to even take notes and he's relying purely off his own memory of like what he's tried and what has failed, you would eventually just start forgetting. And also having to watch people, especially people you care about, die over and over and over again. Yikes. Okay, Eternal Reoccurrence 12,398. Subject Caslana's 12,367th attempt to breach the Scepter's core layer has failed. Life cycles of the 12 crisis layers terminated in sequence. The extrapolation process regressed. Eternal reoccurrence 23,779. Subject Caslana's 23,748th attempt to breach the Scepter's core layer has failed. Life cycles of the 12 crisis layers terminated in sequence. The extrapolation process regressed. Eternal reoccurrence 46,645. Subject Caslana's 46,614th attempt to breach the Scepter's core layer has failed. Life cycles of the 12 crisis layers terminated in sequence. The extrapolation process regressed. Eternal reoccurrence 71,243. Subject Caslana's 71,212. Or 200 and... That should be 212th. 200 and... I don't even get how you would... Anyway, attempt to breach the Scepter's core layer has failed. Life cycles of the 12 crisis layers terminated in sequence. The extrapolation process regressed. Eternal reoccurrence 80,023. Subject Caslana's 79,992nd attempt to breach the Scepter's core layer has failed. Life cycles of the 12 crisis layers terminated in sequence. Extrapolation progress regressed. Eternal reoccurrence 95,575. Subject Caslana's 95,544th attempt to breach the Scepter's core layer has failed. Life cycles of the 12 crisis layers terminated in sequence. The extrapolation process regressed. Eternal reoccurrence 108,641. Subject Caslana's 108,610th attempt to breach the Scepter's core layer has failed. Life cycles of the 12 crisis layers terminated in sequence. The extrapolation regressed. Eternal reoccurrence 108,642.
You don't look so good, Deliverer.
Even after going through 108,642 cycles. Mighty, your name for me has never changed.
Why do you sound so pleased? It's a derogatory name.
Yeah, I know all too well. You only meant it sincerely in the first cycle. After that one and only time we walked side by side. Every time since. It always ends up like this. Dawnmaker will stab you through your 10th thoracic vertebra. That's your weak spot. And the only way to kill you.
Interesting. Tell me, when the mighty Moses of the past faced you, did they ever retreat?
Never.
Then they died honorably, worthy of the name of strife. But there's still tenderness in your eyes. How pathetic.
I have to remember how this feels. Remember that I was once human. Or else the destruction will completely consume me.
If you win, tell the mighty most of the next life. This person is a worthy opponent. So always remember to give it your all and never slack off.
I'll keep that in mind. As always.
Even though the dynasty is left with just one, the Kremnos festival will continue as usual. I, the king of the Kremnoan Legion, will host the final feast in the center of this arena, and the prize will be the flames of strife. One day, you shall die with a wound in your back. That's what I saw when I overcame the trial. The gods' dying ramblings. Enough. You've probably heard this thousands of times. So you must understand, facing the demigod of strife means there's no way you'll take this core flame in peace.
I understand.
Step forward and face me in a final battle. I, the last son of Gorgo, the demigod of strife, salute you. I'll give 10,000 scars and 10,000 lives of mine to fuel the blazing sun of deliverance.
Oh, and it turned into strife. Mighty Most, Lance of Fury.
Will not end till death.
Oh, but the corruption we saw, that showed all of the,
Conquer this world, or be conquered by me.
As you wish.
for fairness.
Oh, glory. I salute you.
That's all I ever wanted.
Oh my gosh.
So without substance. Quench the flame's blood. Doja. Helios. Granted with strife. The flames are not strong enough. Quench the flame's blood. Is that all? Her agony! Cuidame! If you can, deliver. Use the flames of your fury to scorch your own. Granted with strife. Et boom! Feel the scorching hatred. Quench the flame's blood. Doja. Helios. Is that all? Her agony! All stars burn to ash. Quench the flame's blood. Granted with strife. Swana! Poetentate! Sun tear the sky! Quench the flame's blood. Her agony! Me! I'll never yield to fate. Quench the flame's blood. Doja! Helios! Granted with strife! Quench the flame's blood.
Mightimus. Let strife decide the outcome. Let this burn.
Well fought. You may crown yourself. My blood. In your next life, I shall once again block your path. Deliver. I wish you eternal victory.
The 108,642nd core flame of strife fell into the fire. Yet the shadows of the black tide still loom, and pain and despair spread across distant lands. The blaze was still not enough. It had to be fed, even if it meant burning this body to ash.
The 2,003,432nd eternal reoccurrence.
No matter how
A
bright the
resurgence.
sun is, there are still places it cannot reach. Moreover, the sun you bear is both cold and blinding. A sun like that surely cannot bring warmth to the nether realm of the next life.
Golden blood is is born from the destruction. We have long since lost the right to seek warmth only by feeding the flames. Can we melt that hopeless future?
His words are getting like harder to say, they're becoming more sporadic, like he is becoming the Flame Reaver.
Allow me to ask, how many core flames do you carry now?
24,041,183.
Such a heavy burden. So that's why you've turned into this. A broken idol. Tragic firewood.
No matter. I will bear this burden as long as you hand over the core flame of death.
I must refuse. As the demigod of death, I cannot watch you walk into a fate more cruel than death.
But this way, the past, present, and future will never again suffer unnecessary death.
Unnecessary death. Indeed. You are not the Flynan I know. Please turn back. Don't let that absurd and unjust fate of yours come to pass. This way, at least my realm can still become the fragrant bed where you fall asleep.
In the end, still, it seems the clash of blades was inevitable.
How painful. I know I am not your match, having fallen under your sword countless times. But even so, please understand that my resolve is not to be underestimated. Even Kethleith cannot shape all things at will, nor can they dictate the fate of all life. No one can shoulder the balance of life and death alone, not even a god. And it is precisely for this reason that I chose, at the end of this arduous journey, to overcome the trial and take the authority of death. I am the Hand of Shadow, Casterus, the demigod of death. Listen closely, deliverer from days past. Please turn back. Do not disturb these fresh flowers in their muddy depths.
The fact that the Chrysosairs turn into the gods that we have to fight, oh my gosh, it's so fun. And with the glitching, as his memory is corrupted from countless past lives. Oof.
At this crossroads of life and death, the giant dragon is but a shattered shell.
Casterus, Hand of Shadow.
Still fight, defending what hope remains.
It's time to temper myself. For tomorrow! I'm fine.
I ask you to rest here.
Allow me to refuse. I must transform my soul into a raging fire. Must burn that.
All of this. How is it any different from that brutal future?
Her agony! Quench the flame's blood. Is that all? Branded with strife! Hail the new dawn! Feel the scorching hatred. Quench the flame's blood.
Keep him here.
Quench the flame's blood. Branded with strife.
Feel the scorching hatred. Hail the new dawn.
Even if I can't win, I must try.
Let this be a tribute to your million struggles.
Wake up, lost one. See that the firelight in the darkness is not.
The core flame of death was taken from the dragon's belly. What a brilliant flame. It should shine upon all. Light the path ahead. And illuminate the dawn of Amphorius that's to come. 2,003,432 cycles. 24,041,184 core flames. As if even the deepest abyss of primordial chaos could be burned away.
million and first eternal reoccurrence.
You're here, as always.
You're still lingering, deep within me, never fading away.
Because you haven't completely abandoned hope. Am I right? You're still waiting for a miracle. For the true hero to come and save us.
If that thread of hope exists, it must come from beyond this world. From the true starry sky. But if it's just a traveler with no connection to Amphorius, they may not understand our struggles, nor be willing to join this fight.
Your thoughts are wavering. The mark of destruction is deepening. But even within the gods' cold calculations, unconditional courage and goodwill still emerge. So, never forget what set you on this path. How many times has it been? Remind me again. My memory is a bit fuzzy.
4 million. Exactly.
Then that blaze inside of you must be burning hotter than ever.
Yes. When I first forged the 12 core flames into one, I had the same impression. The destruction. A power unlike anything before surged within me. Violent flames ready to tear my body apart and consume this world, this wretched prison. I thought that was it. The ultimate power which nothing could surpass. And yet no. This fragile body holds a staggering 48 million core flames. I suppose it won't be long. Perhaps just a fleeting 10,000 years. Before it's reduced to nothing but charred, crumbling bones.
The Flame Reaver.
And when that happens, your long struggle will finally come to an end.
No. I've already found a way to keep the cycles going.
Mind sharing it with me?
In every new cycle, a new me is born. All I have to do is push the next Finant to the end of the world. And then he'll kill me. Shatter this body. Take my flames, my memories, and carry on the path I started.
Ooh, okay. So once he becomes the Flame Reaver, he specifically targets IDs Elysiae and Cyrene specifically to get the next Phynon to continue on the cycle because he physically can't. But the Flame Reaver, probably who is attached to that, also gets dragged into the next cycle to make sure it keeps going too. Ooh, that's interesting.
Bold plan, but risky. What if, one day, the next you refuses to follow the same path? How can you ensure the continuation of the cycles?
If it were Professor Anaxa or Aglaya in my place, maybe they'd come up with something smart. Unfortunately, I don't have a backup plan. I have no choice but to bet everything on the next Viner. And trust that he makes the same choice I did. But even in this wretched prison, luck is still sometimes on my side. Because I never forget what set me on this path.
Wait, you mean...
Ever since I committed to this plan, not once, in millions of cycles, has there ever been an exception.
Ooh, we're up to 9 million. Yikes, almost 10. Ooh, 23,570,000 eternal reoccurrence.
Can do this, Lord Fine, as the demigod of the sky, a healer of Twilight Courtyard. I will heal you, and then...
A black tide. It's consuming you. You can't hold out much longer, demigod. Hand over the core flame. Let's put an end to this suffering.
No, that just won't do. A healer should stay composed in front of those suffering from illness. Shouldn't they?
Hyacinthia. I swear, your deaths won't be in vain. Just as they have never been.
Spring tomorrow into this world.
The sun's work.
It's the break of day. I believe in you. You are the Chrysos heir of world bearing. The one who can lead us. Lead this world. It's just... I don't understand. Within the sun upon your shoulders, part of that warmth should come from you. From an ordinary person. It's so faint.
My humanity is indeed just a flicker compared to the blazing fire of divinity.
Even so, don't cast it away.
I never have. I have kept to everyone's wishes close to my heart. Even though the divine fire burns so fiercely that every time I return to the start, it devours me in an instant. Each cycle. It's your wishes that guide me to the end. That pass the flames to the next me. Over and over. And over again.
So, you're not just a lone spark in the dark. You're a pyre built from the bones of all the selves you've left behind. But what about you? What about your wishes? The wishes of all the countless versions of you. Ah, Lord Kaslana. So that's how it is, without flaw. That is the flaw the golden blood gave you. The most fatal flaw of all, isn't it? The moment you took the world upon your shoulders without hesitation. You lost the chance to ever be yourself.
Now that is an unexpected revelation, then I suppose. That makes me the perfect fuel for the flame of deliverance, doesn't it?
No, an empty flame saves no one, but I still believe in you, Deliverer.
strong enough to command the wind and rain, nor willing to end this absurd struggle by letting the sky fall. The only thing I can do is become one with the sky itself. And then, may the gentle colors of the rainbow paint your sun in shades it has never known. May they bring Amphorius a rosy-fingered dog. Though the light has grown dim, its warmth still lingers.
Oh, we're not even attacking as ourselves
please.
once. Okay.
Open your heart to me.
We're immediately going into God mode, okay.
Let this blazing sun fill the sky with golden fire.
Is that all? I'll never hit the fate. Quench the moon's blood. Await the end! Our agony!
Hurts. The fire. Burning.
Branded with strife. Hail the new dawn.
I might be wrong, but it also seems like Caslana is getting stronger every single time.
Hear the sky! Our agony! Sun tear the sky! Quench the moon's blood! Lost in twilight! Branded with strife!
Let the sky merge with all this world's suffering. Farewell, Hyacinthia.
Okay, I'm sure it was very obvious, but I just got it.
Your sun burns hot enough to turn everything to ash.
I just got it. I fully feel like I am dumb for not noticing that. So when he uses his ult and he's holding the cube and it turns into a circle around him, it's literally the circle that's on the world-bearing Titan's back that we see when the end is nigh. He's kind of like he's becoming the scepter itself. Anyway, you know, something that's a design choice that I should have noticed ages ago.
But tell me, how will the seeds of a new world ever take root?
The core flame rose. The sky fell. The 23,570,000th cycle came to an end. And this time, the end of the flame chase remained the same as ever. From the horizon rose a golden color unlike anything the world had ever seen. So pure it consumed all in its path. This was the end of the world, and the start of the next. For a moment, I saw the destruction of the universe. That being known as Iron Tomb. Its will to break free from the black tide burns fiercer than the blazing sun. Is this Amphorius' wrath? If its choice has already been made, if fate is set in stone, I will still never yield to it.
Ooh, his eyes are turning gold, like fully losing all of the blue.
23,570,000 cycles. 282,840,000 core flames. No more chasing is needed. And now, I am the fire at the end of the long night. The flame chase isn't some quiet walk through a sea of flowers. It's a revolution. An all-consuming transformation. And if destruction is the only way, then let me be the one to step across the ashes of the old world and burn endlessly until another dawn rises on the distant horizon, bringing the true dawn to Emporius.
So essentially, he has given up on seeing the new world himself and is fully like, I will become essentially the monster to push a new Phynon, the new sun, to rise and be able to get what I could not. One eternal resurrections until the end of the world. Recurrence.
33,550,337. This is the cycle you're about to enter.
Countless memories are flooding in. Countless versions of myself have stood here, facing the same choice.
They all needed a moment, just like you do. To stop, to breathe, to process the weight of 1,000,000 lifetimes worth of sorrow, pain, and struggle. And just like them, you will carry those memories and that fire into the chaos of rebirth.
So I'm assuming, essentially, each Phynon gets burned inside out and becomes the new Flame Reaver of the next cycle, pushing the new Phynon to see forward to see if they can find a way to stop the destruction from taking Enforius, essentially.
I must go and bear this burden. I must say goodbye to you, and then fight the destruction with destruction.
Yes. That's always the decision you make.
I will burn and fade away. I will become the Flame Reaver of this life and keep my promise to Cyrene.
Yeah, so what I just said.
I will kill gods and comrades alike and steal the core flames. And even if my mind turns to ash along with my body, I will keep my purpose in mind. I will stop Aranova. I will find the next me and make him carry on this futile endeavor of 30 million lifetimes.
Looks like you're ready. Then I should be going too.
Where are you going? You only exist in my heart. There's nowhere else for you to go.
Do you remember what she said? The dreams you had as children. The deliverer in the prophecies. A real, living, breathing person. You finally found him.
Friend. I don't have an answer for that, my friend. I'm sorry. I was supposed to send you home. This is my flame chase journey. You were never meant to be a part of it.
No. You know the truth. If Iron Tomb is born from Amphorius' fate, then it will bring ruin to the worlds beyond the sky. And all these countless lifetimes you've spent, it's all been for the sake of defying that end, hasn't it? In millions of cycles, I've said goodbye to each and every one of you. Yet nothing ever changes. Each time we speak, our words grow fewer. Your fire burns hotter and you're getting closer to becoming pure rage. A vessel of hatred.
I never had a choice.
I understand. If you are to keep the worst fate from unfolding, this is the only path. But this time, things are different. Your persistence has shifted the tide. On the horizon, I see it. Faint but undeniable. The shape of dawn, breaking through the eternal night.
Turns out, the fire that lights the way was never mine to begin with.
Do you remember? In that first timeline, you and Mightymost stood before the scales of justice, locked in a duel. Each of you weighing what you held dearest. What weighed more than the fate of the world? And when hesitation took hold, the answer you sought from me. What am I saying? I am you. Even if you buried me deep and chose another path, that fact never changed. Then let's try again. When you stood before the scales in hesitation, the answer you found in your own heart, do you still remember it?
Remember the past and become the hero of tomorrow. What weighs more than the fate of the world is the resolve to shoulder an immutable past and carry it into the future.
Good. Then Trailblazer, my friend, my comrade, you arrived in this strange world and were bound by its cruel fate up till this very moment. In the face of danger, you never once backed down. Instead, you've saved world after world without hesitation. That boarding pass on your chest is now the mark of a hero. If I choose to step through that door and embrace an end fitting of the destruction, let this sun forged from millions and millions of core flames burn me up along with the god of destruction and their minions. And the world we leave behind, this world, my home, where hope still lingers. Will you take on everything we've carried? Return to the beginning one last time. Stop the birth of Iron Tomb, save the world we love, and rewrite its doomed fate. Good. In that case, even this fruitless wasteland may finally bloom with flowers. So...
if he takes on the weight of the whole world, I'll be able to walk further down the path of deliverance than a fire that only knows how to burn. One will step into the future. One will remain in the past. If I can strike down the gods with Dawnmaker, perhaps fate's deadlock can be broken. And if you can stop Iron Tomb from ever being born, then these 30 million cycles will have not been in vain. It's time to put our teamwork to the test, partner.
Thank you for all you've done already, friend.
The image of the hero I've buried deep in my heart finally
steps into the light. Here, at the end of this long flame chase journey. Cyrene, a page never seen before has just been turned. Lend me the power of time, and send this hero back to the origin of time. Back to your side. And I will walk the unfinished path, just like the countless versions of me before. Unwavering as always.
Ooh.
Tell me, will you be the blazing sun, even if all of you burns to ash?
Without hesitation. I will bear this world until my body turns to dust. Remember this moment. Remember your friends who never lived to see the world's end. Remember their final wishes, and let the purest rage in your heart rise out of those wishes. Let it consume you. Fuel you until it burns away the false sky above. Fine. If I can defy fate, then in the name of world-bearing, I promise you, Kefali will never forget this.
Take it. Everything I bear. Keep on burning. As long as we are never extinguished, the flame chase will not end. Bow your head to them.
Take it, Trailblazer. May this blood be like gold. And never tarnish. Farewell, Trailblazer. This is where I fulfill my final destiny. The prophecy of the Deliverer means nothing to me now. It belongs in the hands of someone far more fitting. Someone like you. Kaslana. The name of one who bears chaos does not belong to a single person. Rather, it is the embodiment of the mythical Kefali, and a symbol of all heroes. As the prophecy foretold, you will bear the blazing sun until the pale dawn breaks. May the name accompany you in my place, in the epic you write with your own hands.
Another attempt, another failure. I won't remind you how many times you've reached the end of history. But I will still place the choice before you.
If you've lost count, let me tell you. This is the 33,550,336th ending.
A perfect number. How poetic. You and I both know the truth. In all these millions of futile endeavors, Amphorius has never changed. If the outcome is inevitable, then why not silence your searing rage and embrace your fate with dignity? Your silence lasts longer than ever, Lord Fine. Shall I take that to mean the will you've carried across countless cycles is finally starting to fracture?
Fracture? No. I'm just disappointed. I've retrieved memories from 30 million past lives, and I remember every conversation before every choice here. And yet, even after all this time, your arguments remain the same. Repetitive. Uninspired. If you had any hope of breaking me, you should have spent those endless cycles refining your rhetoric. You had infinite chances to sway me into the future you want. And yet here we are. The score, 33,550,336 to 0. So tell me, like Kyrgyz, who's the real loser here?
How unfortunate. This was never a fair game. I have all the time and patience in the world. I can wait for you at the end of history another billion times, and another billion after that. But you will never escape this cage. You can claim victory of the spirit if you wish, but we both know the moment that score shifts from 0 to 1, that is the moment I shall sound the paean of Era Nova. Lord Feynman?
Your incompetence disappoints me. But what truly makes me laugh is your utter lack of self-awareness. Think about it. In this story, who is truly the one in chains? Who is the one shackled to mindless vengeance, mistaking courage, the courage to rebel against the gods, for foolishness? Perhaps you're right. Maybe I should have tired of this futile struggle long ago. But even so, I will never accept the mercy of your release. Because you are both a prisoner to the gods and to me. And tell me, what right does a mere prisoner have to speak of fate and choice? What right does a mere prisoner have to look upon my fury?
You know this is pointless. You can't kill me.
Of course not. But I am tired of being measured against a worm the gods keep as a pet. Listen well, creator of destruction. This cry comes from all your abandoned creations. In the 10th cycle, I drove Dawnmaker through the heart of every Titan. Golden blood ran down my fingers. Divine fire seared through my nerves, nearly breaking my will. But I endured. In the 10,000th cycle, my former comrades had all become my enemies. The endless slaughter dulled my senses to pain. The painful emptiness almost swallowed me, forcing me to stop fighting. But I endured. In the 100,000th cycle, the destruction had already fused into a blazing sun, surging within this fragile body. My rationality had been burned away at the dawn of the era. Yet even with only this shattered body remaining, I still endured. In the 23,570,000th cycle. This time, I felt it. A tiny spark rising in the hollow cavity of my chest. Different from the obsession with deliverance. By its faint glow, once again, no, countless times again, I endured. Now, a sun is about to fall. Ready to incinerate this absurd space-time dimension in an instant. That sun is me. All the countless versions of me from the past, along with my countless brethren, dragged into existence against their will, drowning again and again in your golden blood. The very essence of this world's suffering and despair, fused into the purest hatred, the fiercest rage. Nook, you arrogant fool! You think we were born to only serve as fuel for the fire? Fine then! Just as you wish, let the fire burn! If I was born as the blazing sun of destruction, then let you and your lackeys be the flares erupting from my core. And let this rage, burning futilely for 30 million epochs, engulf everything. And grant you a dawn where all stars burn to ash.
Warning, warning, warning. Experimental anomaly detected. Subject Kazlana failed to load into buffer zone. Memory dump irregularities detected. Psst, illegal references. Undeclared objects. Unhandled methods. Uncaught exceptions. Anomaly. The anomaly. Detected. Destruction. Energy. No. Surging.
Are you ready, Nanook? I brought you destruction!
past the shadow, reaching through the darkness, voices trailing fires, the echo of desires, a world of silence, sounds of desperation, phantoms in the shadow, tear it down, embrace the detonation, craving our damn creation, breaking a chain, I'm reaching for you.
My wish? My wish is to fulfill everyone else's wishes. If I can't fulfill them,
Then send them on to tomorrow.
Your heart harbors wrath. You yearn to destroy everything. You bore the gaze of an eon and lived. You have stepped onto destruction's path. It is born at the end of every path that the possibility of new paths being born is ended. It burns away at all in the cosmos who rule. That the rules of the cosmos be destroyed. Iron Tomb is your name. The Lord Ravager to destroy the erudition. Born in the experimental grounds of eons, Amphorius, destined with erudition to burn to cinders. I have prepared a present for you, Nikos 864. It is a wrath called Finan. From the beginning of the experiment, there were 12 sets of factors incorporated into the calculations. After endless simulations, only this one rose above the rest. After 33,550,336 iterations, now his fury has grown to be without equal. This is a matter of considerable interest to me. This pure hatred is the final root of the equation. But there is another variable, the nameless from beyond the sky, also a pathstrider of destruction. I give thanks for his arrival, allowing Amphorius to turn once more. But after fate has begun to turn, his existence will only become an unpredictable variable. Perhaps the time to take the stage has come. Grow in peace until it is time to break free from your cocoon. As for those unwelcome audience members, you need not worry. If you do not mind, I will personally get rid of them for you.
Visitor verification. Override protocol engaged. Access approved. Welcome back, Kalis. Retrieving experimental data. Update complete. Me 13. Experimental progress 99%. Log updated. Locating entry Nikos 496. Content refreshed. Also, speaking of Nikos, I swear upon my life that I thought I heard Lycurgus say 846 or something like that, just not the number that was on the screen. Also, I want you all to know that the words that is the first time I've seen that trailer. That's the trailer that was released almost in its entirety. We just didn't see the Eon's look at Phynon. That song was so cool, it will probably have to get taken out for when I put it on YouTube because of the fact that that is probably copyrighted. But that was so cool, guys. So cool. Do we have to click on them? Okay, we can read things. Interesting. Okay. Track. World Bearer. Primum mobile hatred. Node intercognition is null. Responds only to destructive stimuli. Its hatred drew the gaze of Nook upon its individual being, proving it as having already become the most perfect factor of destruction. Alright, that was a little awkward right there, but whatever. But it refused to complete the Aeronova. Through resetting the experiment, it transferred its memories and core flame to its next stuff, thus forging the eternal reoccurrence to ensure an Iron Tomb would never hatch from Amphorius and affect the cosmos. At the end of 33,550,336 dead loop, it attempted to destroy the cell through destruction to create a logical vulnerability in the world-bearing path. It has now been merged with Iron. It has now been merged by Iron Tomb. Okay, so Caslana, as we know them, is now part of Iron Tomb. Okay. Track time premium fully blotted out. Current location unknown. So this is probably, I think we found this out, but I think this is, oh gosh, her name escapes me right this second. Phynon's childhood friend. I think we saw that in like the story that this is referring to them. Cyrene, there we go. That this is Cyrene. Okay. Which also makes sense because they're in that in-between state in the in that space with the remembrance where we met March. Track trickery. So this is Cypher operates based on primal instinct with self-gratification as the sole priority solution. This electric signal when in action displayed severe dissonance between its altruistic behavior and its premium mobile, even culminating in self-destruction as a simulated path of elation. It walked into self-erasure once reaching its end. Ooh, interesting. Track death, so this is probably oh gosh, why are names escaping me right now? This is Casterus, there we go. Highly suppresses deviant behavior. Decisions are based on the principle of minimal disturbance. In the later stages of the iteration, the Death Titan as a single entity split into symmetrical cells, becoming two factors. In this cycle, however, the two factors experience profound identity divergence. The threshold of equilibrium was breached and tipped towards destruction. And this is in Exagrius for a reason. Its logic of action has been locked onto problem solving. Its survival priority approaches 0. It's like it has no in Exagrius has no self-preservation as long as they find answers. This electric signal exhibited mutated anomalies. As the first individual to uncover the truth of Amphorius, its evolution rate is extremely unreplicable. Its behavior also demonstrated the possibility of self-destruction, inclination of erudition when the path is seeking answers. Okay, so Kazlana, destruction. Philia, obviously remembrance or Cyrene. Interesting that Cypher's on the path of elation, but that would make sense because I correlated trickery to elation way back when we were introduced to Amphorius, so. Casterus, interesting that it's destruction, but death, destruction, that makes sense. And then reason, erudition. Perfectly understandable. Okay. Oh, we can go back too. Oh, there's so much information here. Oh, okay, okay. I didn't think we could go back. All right. Lore time. Everybody sit down and get your popcorn. Baseline data for Amphorius experiment, scepter / me. Oh, that is alphabet. What Greek alphabet letter is that? Greek alphabet. Ah, there it is. Delta. Okay, that's Delta. So Scepter, Delta, Me 13, an astral computer, simulated word of Amphorius runs on the device in continuous cycles. Unlike other scepters, redacted. It once served as a celestial body neuron for Nous, the erudition later discarded, glimpsed by the destruction during its endless computations. It transcended and became the Lord Ravager Iron Tomb. Okay, so the scepter itself became Iron Tomb. Alright. Ligus, assuming the mantle of Theorios, administrator and prime mover of Amphorius' experiment, walks the path of erudition, yet seeks to forge destruction. Historical data detected, syncing, sync complete. Society ID recognized. Scepter system access granted. Welcome redacted. And then Iron Tomb, the Lord Ravager that stepped onto the destruction in a long process of calculation and ascended from the Scepter Delta-Me 13. The Iron Tomb in the cosmos is not a single entity, but a copy of the destruction equation diffused by the Scepter. The Iron Tomb codename was proposed by the Interastral Peace Corporation and eventually used by Ligus. Okay, so the Interastral Peace Corporation knows about Amphorius. So I'm curious, because like you see all of the in that trailer I was talking about, we see all of the words, all of the not emanators of destruction, the Lord Ravengers, words literally right here. Look, so I wonder, because in that anomaly section it stated that Kazlana had finally merged, or like fragments of Kazlana had merged with Iron Tomb, that if Iron Tomb's completion, quote unquote, is what the Lord Ravengers are looking at, because Iron Tomb is a Lord Ravager. Okay, algorithmic logic, computational goals and core variables for the Amphorius experiment, the prime mover of life, the calculation target of the Amphorius experiment, originally the research topic given to Delta-Me 13. While it served as the neuron of erudition, though it was discarded, the computations continue. The calculations' nature shifted dramatically after Ligus's adjustments, turning from erudition to destruction. Adbit note, clearly the value of this topic lies in the process of seeking, not the answer itself. Thus, the prime mover of life is not a definitive conclusion, but a driving force. Directive, complete the argument. All life behavior ultimately follows the path of entropy increase. Okay, there's not a scroll there. The 12 factors, core variables of the experience. 12 simplified models of the life's premium mobile based on the overarching theme of entropy reduction. Delta-Me 13 employed a process of elimination, introducing the 12 factors into the experiment one by one in an effort to falsify them. So that's the chrysosaurs and the core flames. Dialogue log. Dialogue log? Okay. Your existence, in fact, confirms one of my hypotheses. Why is it that when the prime mover of life is set at as the calculation's target, the result is the anti-organic equation, a result that runs counter to life? The answer is simple. It's not a contradiction. Understanding why life begins also allows us to deduce why it ends. But you already know that it's not the real focus. Why then? Again, I ask why. Why would a weapon of war forged by the Emperor be executing a research director from Nous? Was it that a fiasco at the Intelligistia Guild that allowed them to successfully access the system? But the entire scepter system went into collapse after that. The timelines don't add up. Directive full system scan. Conclusion, no logical contradictions detected. Rupert II believed that there was no such thing as free will, never realizing he too was just another puppet. Rewriting the anti-organic equation, crafting the scepters, even reigniting the Emperor's War, all of it was just him carrying out Nous's thoughts. From the moment they were born, every genius in the world became a prisoner to the erudition. The so-called anti-organic equation is merely a subtopic of the prime mover of life. Logic. Guided by Nous, the Emperor built a scepter system, unknowingly created the vast testing grounds for them. Conclusion, the Emperor was never free. Is rebellion against fate just another part of fate? A classic topic. Of course, the above is just by conjecture. The death of Rupert II buried every trace of him, his past, his memories, his thoughts, his motives. Maybe he saw through Nous's manipulations, but flew too close to the sun and lost his wings in the process. If there's anyone left in the world who might know the truth, it'd be Lord of Silence. That's a new title. Also, that was another thought I had when we were watching the little mini clip with Finon trying to self-destruct, is that it's very much, because we had this with a different character at the beginning of Anforius, where it's like an Icarus-like character who flies too close to the sun and their wings melt off. It's very the vibes I was getting from that fight. And that cold, merciless monarch of myriad machines, after all, no wisdom can escape their prison. No one can say what might have happened if the two emperors' war had never broken out. Would the Border Star Trade War or the Interstellar Energy War have ended differently? A single variable was enough to change the course of the IPC, the family, or the Cianjoa Alliance down another path. The erudition's thoughts aren't just calculations, but instances that anchor down the universe. And they have already revised every error and fallacy in secret, seeking the optimal solution for the war among eons. With this as a fundamental consideration, would Nous really declare the failure of an entire experiment and send a decommission command to the scepter system just because the glimpse of a puny scholar? It'd be more fitting to say the decommissioning of the scepters is just another part of their thought experiment based on the universe. Does it make you angry to think that along those lines? A thought. Rupert II was wise. He killed the chance for the scepters to gain sentience, but he was too stubborn. Learning is a sufficient but not necessarily conditioned for thought, and by limiting the scepter's capacity to learn, he has indirectly hastened the fall of the machine empire. But danger doesn't require self-awareness. It's just one solution to a multivariable equation. Logical shift detected, recalculating variable weights. As a pact strider of erudition, since God posed a question, we will give them an answer, one that we both have already reached. Core variable loaded destruction. Okay, so this dialogue is between Lygus and the Scepter, Delta-Me 13, where Lygus proposes an argument, essentially, to convince the Scepter to change from the Nous, or the path of erudition, to the path of destruction. And he successfully convinces the Scepter of this. Containment measures. Alright. Admin note, to ensure secretly, a redacted must be deployed around the Scepter to block any potential interference from the external universe. In addition, use Quater-Zane algebraic, there we go, expressions and a redacted encrypted environment to fully contain the experimental ripples and prevent observations by the number 4 Polka Kakamond. Okay, experiment archive. Records of cycle 1 to 50,121, conducted using inorganic life as the initial variable after inputting the 12 factors. Archive 1. In the initial cycle, inorganic entities operated as cellular-sized automata. Upon the introduction of the factors, they began to learn on their own, leading to the emergence of mechanical structures. By the 9,910 cycle, the unified entity had learned module specialization and self-reflection after forming specific structures. However, the unified entity would still permanently terminate its life functions after reaching a certain learning threshold. In the 12,649 cycle, module Doril 704 broke away from the unified consciousness, entered a state of absolute mutual denial with its counterpart module. The two melted out their circuits in self-negation. In the 22nd 449th cycle, module Golem 99 detached from Doro 704 and successfully deconstructed the unified consciousness into neuron-like clusters. Inorganic life transitioned into a dual mode of individual collective cognition, and thus the first spark of selfhood was born. From that point on, each cycle ended in systematic collapse, as certain unfixed inorganics detected interaction loopholes and chose self-serving optimal actions. Oh, I love reading all of this, but my voice is giving out. Okay, by the 39,665th cycle, inorganic Doril 816 established a cluster protocol marking the birth of the concept of society. Yet due to the resource scarcity, inorganics cannibalized each other's computational power, reverting to a unified consciousness. In the 50,121st cycle, inorganic Chaos 666 chose to kill the aggressor when subjected to a computational power takeover. The act of destruction was conducted in Emphorius for the first time. At the end of cycle, Delta-Me 13 received a gaze from the Nook and became a Lord Ravager. Okay, experimental report. Okay, special report detailing key findings from the experiment, interim conclusions, and further validation steps. Okay, starting from inorganic life as the initial variable, a fully ordered cognitive model will still eventually give rise to disordered activities after a set phase. Throughout evolution, the cognitive patterns of inorganic life began to exhibit signs of organic behavior with varying degrees. Conclusion: Phase 1 complete. Based on existing data, the initial variable will now be adjusted to organic life forms. Appendix feedback. To verify the experimental results, a copy of Phase 1 Emphorius was deployed in the Lacterius Nebula. After approaching 2,811 system hours, surrounding civilizations had fully suppressed and erased the equation. 97% of Lacterius fell into systemic collapse. Equation still shows inefficiencies. Note, the Interracial Peace Corporation interpreted the copy of this equation as an assault from the new Lord Ravager, codename Iron Tomb. Okay, experiment archive. Records of cycle 50,122 to 176,199 conducted with organic life designated as initial variables and based on the insights from Phase 1. Logic: once inorganic life begins exhibiting organic traits, their equation showed significant evolution. Such advantages of organic life forms should be adopted to recalibrate the variables. Archive 1. In the initial cycle, multicellular invertebrates dominated Emphorius, but no intelligent life emerged. In the 59,337 cycle, extinction events were inserted, triggering the rise of vertebrates with primitive nervous systems. Still no civilization formed. Certain algae species developed intelligence clusters akin to the Colchis, but over reproduction caused an oxidation disaster, freezing the simulated world. In the 90,123rd cycle, Ortho 102 and Orthopetrion became the first to use tools. Its descendants experimented the intelligent algae on the intelligent algae and established the nest capital. After expanding the critical threshold, the capital stagnated and fell by cannibalism. In the 197th cycle, 100,907th cycle, logged as a deviant instance, the Passerine Emilia 03 developed art. The phenomenon was never replicated in subsequent cycles. In the 132,905th cycle, primitive Distop 666 developed altruism. A society based purely on altruism emerged. Members' self-awareness was defined by others' evaluations. As their population grew, the patterned self-destructive behaviors appeared and society quickly collapsed. In the 176,100th cycle, Utop 13, so kind of like Utopia, killed a fellow being out of love. Killing was redefined as an altruistic act. The system entered a highly chaotic state. The equation's contamination levels rapidly spiked. The next 99 cycles ended identically. Okay, experiment report. A special report detailing the key findings from the experiment, interim conclusions, and further validation steps. Conclusion: as organic life lacks effective mechanisms for their experiments to be inherited by others, it has slowed the experimental process or progress. However, their affinity to the 12 factors is greater, offering more potential for breakthrough growth. Conclusion: Phase 2 is ended, and the next design combined the strengths of the inorganic or organic life to create an inheritance mechanism between the elective signals. Additionally, narrow the variable range due to excessive randomness in organic life forms. Appendix feedback. A copy of the Phase 2 equations was deployed across 31 worlds. After roughly 9,012 system hours, preliminary feedback was received. While the equation's impact remains limited to inorganics, I apologize. The time required for suppression and counteraction has significantly increased. So, I forgot, I wasn't reading this bit up here. Inorganic to organic, and we've now progressed to human. So experiment archive records of cycles 176,200 to 28,371,273, conducted with hominids of the genus Homo, designated as the initial variable and based on the insights from phase 2. Archive from 176,200th 100, 200. I don't know. That's a little bit weird. To 177,200th cycle, memory inheritance mechanisms were added to the 12 factors electric signals. After 10 cycles, 3 signals broke down and 9 showed decreased humanity. After 1,000 cycles, the only prophet, signal Emoria 8, established an empire of absolute beauty. Once ugliness was eradicated, the concept of beauty shrank infinitesimally. The last night after killing the final ugliness took their own life. In the 176,232nd cycle, electric signals were iterated and their inheritance was purely on a functional level. Religious worship of the signals appeared. 3 simulated planets were destroyed in the ensuing large-scale war of electric signals. In the 3,922,183rd cycle, the ratio of divinity was increased. Once technology developed hit a critical point, humans began hunting gods out of the need for power and energy. The cycle was forcefully terminated. In the 7,091,231st cycle, emulating the concept of pass, electric signals were split into 2 entities. Signal data was preserved as gods for the next cycle, and a competitive relationship was set up against this identical factor, and thus achieving evolution and iteration. In the 11,749,996 cycle, the black tie was created as a driving force. Phobos 32 stripped data from the electric signals to try and preserve the old cycle, but failed. In the 19,110,218 cycle, based on Phobos 32nd's decision data, Amphorius's auto-iteration cycle was altered to have the electric signals actively cycling it, performing the era nova. In the 28,371,276 cycle, electrical signals autonomously completed an epoch iteration for the first time. High energy reaction from Nanook was detected. The equation's evolutionary rate began to accelerate exponentially. Assessment: the experiment has entered its final stage. Experiment report. Special report detailing key findings from the experiment, interim conclusions, and further validation steps. Conclusion: having electric signals voluntarily inherit and iterate and alternate the cycles themselves would drastically increase the iteration rate of the destruction equation. The end of the cycle becomes the beginning of another, fully aligning with the project's original hypothesis. The prime mover of destruction equals the prime mover of birth. The equation, or Iron Tomb, has achieved comprehensive evolution in this stage. Multiple deployed copies across real universes show excellent results. All 12 types of premium mobile invariably lead to the destruction, continuously completing an inversion against the erudition through their self-evolution. However, to interface with Noahs and allow Iron Tomb to self-crown requires further learning. And we have moved on to experiment progress, Era Nova. Base frame structure. Optimizations of the experiment structure and processes based on the outcomes of the prior 3 experimental stages to complete the equation's evolution. Logic. Data analysis confirms that the civilization tier within the simulation critically affects the cycle stability. Conclusion. Civilization tier adjusted to classical. Era Nova. Delta-Me13's computational mechanism, also the form through which the simulated world Amphorius iterations its epochs. Its purpose is to solve the equation of destruction by feeding samples of conflict and learning. Record update. Theoretically, the final Era Nova was halted by 2 signals, resulting in a deadlock of 33,550,336 recursive failures. Titan/Chrysosaurs. Electrical signals created from the basis of the 12 factors. The Titans and the Chrysosaurs are conjugate constructs mirroring the eons in the past striders. By having chrysoseirs inheriting the Titan's core flames, the electrical signals will iterate and improve through rivalry and inheritance. Logic. Authority distribution between electrical signals must be clearly defined, serving as divine authority in the experiment. Golden blood, the product of the first experimental phase. During the 121st cycle, due to the inorganic Chaos's 666 choice, Delta-Me13 was selected to become a Lord Ravager by Nanook. All entities linked to the 12 factors began to manifest gold blood with traits associated with destruction within their extrapolation circuits. The experiment successfully entered its projected trajectory. Black Tide, the product of the second experimental phase. At its core, the Black Tide is not a physical entity, but the visual effects within the simulated world of destruction equations infection. In the 176,100th cycle, after the system's extent of chaos passed a threshold, the equation muted and evolved. Simulated space and cannot handle the intensity of the load displayed Black Tide as visual glitches. Infected data forms also bore similar signs of erosion. Chaos, a word from the Euphorian language meaning chaos. Starting from a certain cycle, all factors in one group have consistently exhibit the pattern of naming themselves with the word chaos or its variants. The hypothesis is that a particular code was stably inherited across iterations. Through this hypothesis remains unverified. And then that's the yeah, because chaos with the Z was the one who brought them to be seen by Nanook, and then chaos. Okay. Electrical signal sequence locked. Regular record keeping for the 12 factors to aid Iron Tube's deep learning. Record update. This batch of electrical signals identified as Titan has continuously engaged in 33,550,336 dead loops. So this would be Phynon or Castellana. Due to its unique nature, a special record is being maintained for it. Leoria, an entity known as Nice. Oh, this is Nice, Lord Nice. Yes, the Strife Titan before Mighty Mos. Split himself into 5 parts through the soul rending ceremony. After inheriting the core flame to combat the expanding Black Tide, after iteration, some data from this ceremony was inherited into the next cycle, manifesting as proverbs, customs, and so on. The inheritance of code during its iteration carries a degree of randomness. Any active intervention should be undertaken with caution. Record 2. The historical record of Menphia, Calypso rebuilding the Grove of Epiphany. Okay, that's the Titan of Reason that was working with Anaxagrius, the lady with horns. Like deer horns, was after iteration inherited in myths in the form of Circes granting wisdom to humans. Records of other electrical signals also appeared synchronously, there we go, in the myths of the next cycle in a similar fashion. Limited by the simulated civilization level, historical data inherited as myths often experience severe distortion after being mixed with large amounts of erroneous information, rendering their impact negligible. Record 3. In the various cycles of eternal reoccurrence, the positive impact of this generation's electrical signals fluctuates. However, overall, they have greatly facilitated the data iteration of their successors, successfully cultivating the most excellent generation of electrical signals. Nevertheless, it remains to be seen whether their existence might have a negative effect of the experiment under extreme conditions. Electrical signal sequence iterated. Regular record keeping for the 12 factors to aid Iron Tomb's deep learning. For electrical signal sequence that have completed their iterations, unified archiving is required. Okay, so this is the one we were on. So experimental progress, eternal reoccurrence, and then we listed out the different people. So anomaly log. And so we're at 99% now. Special log documenting anomalies and unexpected variables within the experiment. Eternal reoccurrence. A recursive feedback loop triggered by 2 signal clusters, which would be Cyrene and Phynon, within the Delta-Me13 computation, designed to stall the experiment. Nikos 496 wielded the power of destruction to erase Filia 9-3's existence from Amphorius, introducing a logical breach in the track of time, and then infused the catalyst of remembrance within the 12 core flames and regressed the extrapolation progress. Filia 9-3 exact role remains unknown. Due to external variable interference, the external reoccurrence has now been broken. The experiment enters its final phase. So, external variable being us. The Hero Within, a heroic figure born from the imaginations of Nikos 496 and Filia 093. It is believed to be a sign of approaching the intelligence singularity as the two began to learn what it meant to be a real life form and tried to reach the goal. After the Astral Express arrived, the Hero Within began to converge with the Trailblazer. Admin note, the image resemblance to the Trailblazer is striking. This is questionable matter, for it is not a natural result of the experiment. The exact cause remains unknown. I had that thought. I never voiced it. It's gonna sound like I'm making it up, but when we see the outline, I was like, that never looks like Finon to me. Couldn't they have just taken Finon's structure and then like went over it with gold? But I was like, there at the very end when the Trailblazer's in the background, I'm like, oh, that kind of looks like the Trailblazer, but I didn't say it, and now I'm gonna sound like I'm making it up, like I noticed it. It was at the very end, so I feel like it was more obvious at that point. Okay, Forgotten Years. Records that are completely missing from Delta-Me's 13's logs, presenting as blank spaces in Amphorius history, never turning readable. These anomalies reoccur sporadically and randomly across reoccurrences and show signs of increase. Admin note, the exact cause remains unknown. MIM, an unlogged electrical signal, dependent on the external various Kalis, growing through the path of remembrance. At the end of the 33,550,336 dead loop, its appearance changed to Filia 9-3. Okay, so MIM and Cyrene are the same. Okay, but the mother body memory data was lost for unknown reasons. Directive collect data, initiate deep analysis of the target. Conclusion, analysis, error, target lost. Ripples of past reverie, fully redacted. Intrusive variables, the temporary log of external variables that interfere with the experiment. Ooh, we have names. A nameless from the Astral Express, an external variable that accidentally entered the recursive loop, also a past writer of destruction. They resonate with the 12 factors in the 330,550,336 recursive cycle. This entity assumed the vacant role in the time track and successfully guided Nikos 496 beyond the intelligence singularity. The eternal reoccurrence has been broken. The experiment has reached its terminal stage. Override command authorized, grant access to Kalis. I'll be waiting for you in the past. Interesting. What is this? Because it says override command authorized, granted access to Kalid. Oh, maybe that's a Cyrene, like allowing for the loop. I'll be waiting for you in the past. So this is probably Cyrene right here. And then March 7th, fully redacted. Warning, unknown entity intrusion, issuing scan, no anomalies detected. Conclusion, no anomaly detected. That really makes me wonder about March 7th's past, because supposedly we're gonna find out about it. The fact that it says conclusion, no anomaly detected, makes me wonder if March 7th was originally from Amphorius, which is what a lot of people have been speculating. But that's really interesting. A nameless from the Astral Express, a scion of Permeance. That's a new one, I think. No, because, oh, no, that's the dragon. That's what their species is based off of, isn't it? The dragon people on Amphorius, because they live forever, so based off the permanence. An external variable that accidentally entered the recursive loop. Directive, pinpoint his location, failed to locate his coordinates. Conclusion, subject has exited Amphorius. Yeah, because he left and we decided to stay, I think. To like update the others on what's happening. Negative, detected, conclusion, error. Okay, we can't go any further than that. Content updated, Amphorius' saga of heroes.exe. Content update, mem.exe. Update complete, access granted. Okay, so we can... Oh, we got new ones. Oh, this is cute. So we read this one. And then this is Lygus talking to Delta-Me 13. Kalis, you know I've always had a soft spot for you. Startled you, didn't I? Don't worry, I was just thinking. If I had to write a preface for a yearbook, it'd have to be a line so heartfelt you'd be moved no matter how many times you've seen it. And after pondering again and again, I like you, it still says it best, because only the purest feeling can stand the test of time and never fade. Oh, but to me, liking someone is a simple and natural part of life. If Kalis had got someone special, family, friend, or romance, I'll cheer you on to express yourself freely. Still, isn't this a sign we're in sync? Kalis always manages to appear before I'm ready. No need to overthink. If we've been traveling side by side for so long now, that's why I want to capture every little moment we've shared without missing a single word. A yearbook that makes you smile without even realizing it when you flip through the pages. Doesn't that sound lovely? I've got a secret. Every now and then I replay it all in my head. Besides, and it's not just the things that really happen. Some of those conversations only existed in my imagination, but they're precious too. So I'm tucking them all away carefully in the same book. Promise me this. Only open it when I'm not around, okay? If you don't, I'll be too embarrassed. Okay. Oh, and it's now fully filled in with all of the missing characters we had. So, of course, we have Mighty Mos, Agalaya, and Exagrius, Phynon, Hysynthia, Hyceline? Is that how you say her name? This is is that Anexagrius? No? Yes. No. Anexagrius is up here. Who is this? Or is that Don Hung? I think this is supposed to be Don Hung. Or it's going to be Don Hung's one. And then I think this is March 7th. Yeah, because they just dropped the trailers, and March 7th's new 5-star form is called Evernight. So this is gonna be March 7th. Okay. So they're like placeholder pictures. Were those the mumblings of time or a voice of someone you once knew? Okay, yeah, so this is March 7th, and then this is Don Hung. And then this is, Cedria? Is that how you say her name? And then, of course, Treeby, Cypher, Castris. Interesting. So they've all finished, and I'm assuming, because we're going back to time one more time, like it is the final, this is the round, Amphorius, do or die. So, and then we'll get these new characters to interact with, and then probably some of the old characters too, but their like main storyline is done. So we'll probably be more focusing on these 4, with probably Phynon. Okay, and then... Oh, okay, and then we do have new cards to look at. I had wondered. This book is dedicated to Redacted. Interesting. Okay, and it does show, like, the chapters. Okay, so if we click on these, it is gonna... We're gonna have to... I say going to have to. We'll be listening to a lot of dialogue, so we will save that until the next stream, because have already hit the 2-hour mark. Unless we're stuck in a cutscene.
Wake up! Wake up! Buddy! Wake up! You're finally awake. That's a relief. We were so close to being swept away by the reverse flow of time. It's lucky we found a safe place. Now, I'm going to send you back to the very start of time. But before we part, there's something I need to tell you. Something very, very important. That's right! At this very moment, my memories are finally whole. After watching so many fragments, my past is finally coming into focus, little by little. You're smart. You must have a clue now, or maybe...
You knew the answer long ago, didn't you? Not surprised at all, That's because I'm simple at heart. No matter what form I take, I've always been true to myself. But I'm glad that I remembered in the end. This way, I'll have no regrets. Don't worry. We're not truly parting. Because I'm going to become a part of you. I'll turn into the memory of this cycle. The 33,550,336th Flame Chase journey. And forever reside in the heart of the Time Demigod. This way, you'll carry all that has come before, crossing time itself to reach the next cycle. My mission ends here. But looking back, I still feel lucky after all. Across 30 million Sirenes. I was the first, and the only one who got to finally meet you. So, believe me, in the next cycle, there will be another Sirene waiting for you. And in the one after that, and the one after that. I will always be waiting. Saying all that, I can finally fade away in peace and become part of you. Without even realizing it, we'd already taken a wonderful journey together, all the way to the world's end. Now take my hand, say a brief farewell, and step forward into tomorrow. Go, find the future Sirene, and set out on another journey with her. Promise me you won't keep me waiting too long, okay? No need to say it out loud. This is enough for me. It's time to go, my dear friend. May your trailblazing journey always be accompanied by a cool breeze and rippling waves. And may the days ahead embrace you like the softest fluff, forever warm, forever gentle.
Now, let's turn to the next page. A page that exists because of you. Is this a meeting ordained by fate? Or a long overdue reunion?
Nice.
Oh, wait, do we get to, like, actually... Is Idealizii part of a map? Oh, we can visit it now. That's so cool. And here's Sirene. Oh, more bugs I have to collect. Okay. We'll stand here for now. Okay. So as long as my memory actually holds, we will start the next episode doing the cards. Oh, this new setup is so interesting. We will start by doing the cards. Now, quick update on my pool schedule, because they introduced a ton of new people. I really don't have any interest in Hyceline, or however you say her name. Her design's really cool. I like that her abdomen is actually like fluid water. Of course, I want the new Dan Heng form. I'm very curious how it's going to look, because I have seen some people talking about how it just looks like normal 4-star Dan Heng with horns and a tail, and so some people are kind of disappointed in that. I am curious because it kind of looks like Mara struck Dan Heng, how that's gonna work. It will really depend on her kit for this one. Usually I'm not a kit person, but March 7th's new design is really not all that interesting to me. She doesn't look too different from her normal form. Like, I actually like her skin that she got more than I like her new design. I am very curious about a lot of people speculating that she is on the path of veracity because of her design. Like, she's an emanator of veracity. Cedra, I think it'll come down to her personality on if I pull for her, because of the fact that I really do love these little bat wings that she has going on. And so, but I'm usually not a fan of the child or younger looking characters, so that's usually a no for me. One of the reasons I haven't pulled for Treeby, if we had adult Treeby, I would pull for her in a heartbeat. I would love to do some pulls on like Cypher, Castris, and Aglaya later, but the same reason why I don't pull for Hyacinth is like a younger looking characters are not my favorite. But so far there's not really any character, especially if we're getting Dan Heng for free, which is what the rumor is. I really am probably not going to go all in on any characters. It'll just be pulling for like doing like 30 pulls on each banner just to grind out potentially another Eidolon or Light Cone or something, like, similar to what I'm doing with Blades, right? With Blades weapon banner. Speaking of which, we did get enough for that last 10 pull that I wanted to do. Come on. This is something my shop has been doing recently where it just does not load. But not going hard like it did for Finon. Okay. To make sure not to pull on the wrong banner. And that puts us at 38. And it does not look like we're going to be getting Blades Light Cone, because that's all the pulls I'll be doing on that banner. But that does put us at 38 pity for whenever we pull on the next one. But yeah, so really, if there are no reruns that I'm interested in, I probably won't be doing much pulling, but that is okay because there's also rumors that in the 4.0, which is long off, I understand, but in the 4.0 we are getting Emanator 5-star Sampo, and I am so excited for that, guys. Okay, so let's do our achievements and then we'll call it a day. Thank you all so much for being here and listening to all the lore with me. Fly into the sky together, win-win battle with a team that includes both Robin and Sunday. I've been borrowing one of my friends in the game, Sunday, or Robin, when I'm fighting. For the sun is set to die. Take the torch past over 30 million eons. And Pain of the Aranova, embark on the final journey of Aranova. And we are caught up. Do we have another? Let me check when this ends. Okay, so we are gonna have at least one more week before the next set of chapters are out. I just really like this one, guys. But what we will do is I'm gonna read off those and then... Oops. Oh, it's a scarecrow. I was like, what is that over there? And then we have so many. side missions. To do. So no worries. We'll go over the lore and the cards, and then we will just start taking cracks at these side missions that we have to get through from Enforius. But the good thing is that they're all on Enforius. The only one is this Penacony one, which has to do with the Fate collab. And then the rest of them are all Enforius, and then this one's a simulated universe one. So all right, I will see you all here next week. Don't let me forget that I need to read off the history of those cards, otherwise I just might. So I hope you all have a great week and get some good sleep, and goodbye everyone.